Panganjali.
Om Swastiastu.
Hello Miss Chandra and all my friends. Now here we want to presentation about building structure and property and material in civil engineering. Before we next the page, let me and my friend to introduce our group member. My friend name is
My name is Putu Sutrisna Mudri. My name is 20055111159.
and my name is Andika Karna. My name is 255111164. Next, the first we talk about civil engineering. Civil engineering is a branch of engineering that studies how to design, build, renovate not only building and infrastructure, but also include the environment for the benefit of human life. In civil engineering, there is a section where we make a building structure and also take measurement related to the area of a building, floor plans, ceiling design, door height, and width, thickness of concrete cover. After that, we must know about the structure. The structure are the parts that make up a building such as foundation, roof, walls, column, ring, truss, and roof. In principle, structural elements function to support the existence of non-structural elements, which include visible, interior, and architectural detail to form a unity. Each part of the building structure also has its respective function and roles. Another use of a building structure is to pass the load on the building from the upper part of the building to the lower part of the building. Then, spread it to the ground. The structural design must ensure that the part of the structural system are able to allow or bear the gravity and loads of the building, then support and transfer them to ground safely. After that, we must know about three parts of the building structure among others. 1. The lower structure, as we know, substructure, is the part of the building that are located below ground level. The structure below include of the foundation and roof. Number 2. The central structure is the part of the building that are located above ground level and under the roof, and are suitable for human habitation. The meaning of the middle structure include walls, column, and rings. Number 3. Upper structure, as we know, superstructure, namely the part of the building that are forms extending upward to support the roof. The structure of the building include frame and foundation. Next, we talk about the main element of the structure. Commonly used rigid element or beams, column, band, flat plates, curva plates, and shells. Number 2. Non-rigid or flexible element, such as cables, membranes, or cables with a single or double bands. Number 3. Elements which are series of single elements. There are frames, trusses, domes, and nets. Next, based on the constituent material, distinguish. Number 1. Wooden structure. Number 2. Steel structure. Number 3. Concrete structure. Now we talk about beams and column. The structure is formed by placing a horizontal rigid element on the top of a vertical rigid element. The horizontal element carries the element which operate transversely from its length and transmit the load to the vertical element that support it. The column is axially loaded by the beam and will transmit the load to the ground, flex as a result of the load that work transversely, so that the beam is often referred to as bearing the load flexibly. Columns do not flex because in generally they only experience axial force. In a building, the beam structure can be single beam on a simple pedestal or a continuous beam. Generally, a continuous beam is a more favorable structure than a single span beam and two simple supports. Now we talk about frame. The structure of the frame is simply the same as the beam, but with a different structural action due to presence of a point of rigid connection between the vertical and horizontal element. The strength of this point of connection provides stability to the lateral force. In this frame system, the beam and column will flex as a result of the action. In the structure, the length of each element is limited so that it will usually be made with repeating pattern. And last, we talk about trunk frame. Trunk frame is a structure made by arranging linear elements in the front relatively short and straight rods into the triangular pattern. The truss frame consists of discrete elements that contract as a wall when subject to load, as is the case with transversely loaded beam. Each element of the rod does not flex but will only experience a tensile or compressive force. That's about my presentation. To be continued by my friend, my name is Yuda.
Property and material. Property and material science is the study of matter. In the civil engineering study program, property science and material are very useful. This is because the topic of the development talks in civil engineering requires a deep and comprehensive knowledge of material science and its properties. When an engineer masters the science of property, he can determine the base material that will be based on external factors, such as geological condition, climate, and geographic use, as will internal factors such as the function of the building to build, the way it is used, and the properties of the material itself. And then wood is one the most commonly used building materials. Derived from trees of the sometimes from fibrous plants. Wood is produced into building materials, cabinet, board, as well as other furniture. The wood has an adjustable weight, remains strong even when bent, and becomes sturdier when compact vertically. Wood is also suitable in seasons. Wood as a building material is generally used to support the roof. In the past, wood as a building material used directly in the form of logs. Trees are simply cut to the required size. However, after the invention of the cutting machine, wood can be shaped into various dimensions and shapes. This simplifies and speeds up the development process. Metal is one of the strongest building materials. Material is usually used as framework of the construction of large buildings such skyscrapers, as well as coating for building surface. There are various types of material are commonly used of building materials. For example, steel, which is a mixture of the materials with iron as the main component, is suitable as an building structure. Steel is strong, flexible, and durable building material. Even so, rust remains the biggest challenge. And then glass is a building material that can be used as a window. This clear and thin material has indeed been used as coating in ventilation of homes since it was first discovered. Glass allows residents to get light from outside, but is still protected from the adverse effect of weather. Glass itself is generally made from the mixture of sand and silica, so it's so brittle or easily broken. With technological sophistication, glass can now be transformed into a kind of curtain that can cover building surface. Glass can also be used on the roof to get a beautiful view of the sky, an example in skylight, and many more materials used in building a building.
Okay, that's all about me and my friend presentation. If I and my friend there wrong word, I'm sorry. We close with Paramasanti.
Om Santi 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 Om.